Yeah, mate, we got hards on. We're going to the end.
Brum brum, hard on. We got the hard on because we're going to the end. It's hard on podcast. I don't know what number this is, but here we are. We're talking about the Canadian Grand Prix. Grand Prix. Um, what are we gonna do? We're gonna talk about the race. We're gonna talk about the qualifying. We're gonna talk about the drivers as a whole. We're gonna talk about the commentators, the team radios, everything and anything and everything. I think is the way people typically say it. We usually split these into three sectors. You got rate my quality, you got the race rundown, and then you got the soft, medium, hard awards. And we'll go through in that order. We won't be changing anything like that today. In terms of who won the race, no, don't bet on. It's Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen won the race. I got bored of saying that a long time ago, ladies and gentlemen. That's probably one of the only times I'm going to bring him up today because there's just nothing to say more about this man. So let's just jump into quali, I guess, for the Canadian Grand Prix. And to be honest, do I like the Canadian racetrack? I think I do. I know it's Tom F1's favourite track, I think, on the Canada. And it is decent. And what I like about it is, like, most of the overtakes will be taken in, like, a particular part of the track. But it's a track where you can make them in other sections if you're good. And, like, I like a track like that. I like a track where most overtakes are done here. But then, when a driver does an overtake into a different corner, and it's like one that's kind of rare to do it, it's like, oh, whoa, into Bling Bloss? No way has Lando Norris just sent it into Gavis corner. I don't know the names of the corners. They all got weird names like that. No, has Lando Norris just sent it at the inside of Tuxtable? It's like, whoa, and I've only been watching sport like 2-3 years. So I'm like, I don't know what's like impressive or not. I'm like, oh, are we hyped about this? It's like, oh, it's sick. But yeah, we'll get into Lando Norris a bit later. We had a bit of a shit time last weekend. Sunday, not really Saturday, but we're going to get into Lando a bit later. No one thought. Anyway, yeah, so in quali, it was raining a lot. And this is the thing about rain. Rain a lot. Everyone loves rain when it comes to F1 and stuff, right? And they pray for it. But like for me, rain has to be so particular. It worked in Monaco, but the year prior to this year, it fucked Monaco. So like rain can't be too heavy. It can't like flood out a track and just ruin it. It can't. It can't be in excess. It has to like come and go. It has to be in patches. It has to. Then it makes it fun. For a second in qualifying, it was fun and it was creating a cool dynamic. But for the end part, qualifying just fizzled out and it kind of deaded it for me. So I'm going to only give qualifying probably like a 6 because Q3 was dead. Like, went out, Piastri crashed, everyone only got one lap in. And like ultimately, if before that lap got in, if before Piastri crashed, like, here's the thing, right? Crazy things happened, and this is what I can't deal with, and how inevitable Verstappen is, right? Is that even in a wet quali, when crazy things happen and Albon outsmarts the world, or maybe his engineers outsmart the world, maybe they don't get enough credit, right? And he goes out before everyone else on the slicks, and he puts in that fast time, and he gets it right, and he's up there, and he's P1 in Q2. And then he goes into Q3 and he does alright, and it was P10 or whatever I think. But and it's kind of crazy. And Hulkenberg's P2, what? He got a good lap in this thing. And wait, he's up here, and what? It's like, and even wait, Perez got caught down there, and wait, what? Like, he's up here. It's like, even through all of the fucking chaos, one man remains at the top of the pile. Max the fucking Stappen. And it's like, what is the point in there being drama? It's like, whoa, he's up here and he's down there. When it's like, there's just one constant, always one constant. The variable that never changes. Oh, but Max is at the top. And not only is he at the top, but he's at the top by like fucking 2 seconds or whatever the fuck it was. Like, it's one of those things. Anyway, Hulkenberg got 3-place grid penalty anyway. Sainz got 3-place grid penalty for like constantly backing people up. Norris was having a really good quali. Piastri crashed. Piastri had a decent quali. Albon had a really good quali. I've got to give it a 6 for the way it ended, though, to be honest. And I think quali for Spain kind of had a dead ending as well. Not as bad, but it was just kind of like didn't really end in an exciting way. So it is what it is, man. It is what it is. I'll give it a 6. Was anything else to mention? I don't know. Like the rain caught out a lot of people, like Leclerc, Perez. Well, I mean, here's the thing. Perez claims the rain. It was like the wrong strategy and stuff. But like at the same time, I don't know. Like I feel like he missed the window for the slicks or whatever. But like I don't know. I just feel like he should, for the cars around him who were also on Inters, like he should have improved. I don't know. Like, and he was like, it's one thing like not improving, but like, he was also just like slipping off the track and stuff, and like the back was just spinning out a lot, and like it felt like not as many other people was also doing that. I don't know. It just seemed kind of, and this was before it got really heavy in the rainfall. I don't know. Perez is on fraud watch. He's on fraud watch. Like, and it's came out of nowhere. I think a lot of people are being too harsh because they like the drama of the Red Bull second seat, and it's kind of an exciting one to always imagine who could be in there. And I think for a lot of people who are like Gasly fans or Albon fans or whoever, right, it's fun to immediately, as soon as someone in that second seat shits themselves, to then be like, see, when it's like, well, no, he is doing a far better job, and he has done a far better job than Gasly or Albon did. So I think people are like quick to jump on him there because they're such big Gasly fans or something. Because usually when I see people bringing down Perez, it is to like lift up Gasly. And by the way, I'm not even a Perez fan, but I'm fair, man. I'm fair. So yeah, but that being said, recently it can't be denied he is kind of falling off a cliff a little bit. He is kind of getting away from him. But at the same time, it didn't feel like too long ago where Perez was like up there with Max and was battling for fastest laps because it felt like that meant something at the time. And like, oh, we're gonna have a sort of Rosberg, Hamilton type. No, we're not. But it felt like it maybe for like even the fleeting second. But yeah, I feel like most of it is just because people want to imagine a world where the seat should go to Daniel Ricciardo next year or like Yuki Tsunoda. And like, be real, right? As okay, as not maybe good enough Perez is doing in that seat right now, it's like, why would Red Bull even needs to change it? Like, their top of constructors probably, I don't know, I ain't checked, but they're probably easily going to finish top of constructors and win the driver championship. So like, what needs do you have to change and even bother changing anything at this point? Like, you're top of both. Sure, one is not like second all the time, but does it really fucking matter? And it's like, is Daniel Ricciardo going to get in that seat and do better than what Perez is doing? You know, is Yuki Tsunoda going to get in that seat and not just be another Gasly or Albon, because he looks like he just fits the description of those two? Similar thing, like right now he looks ready because he said he's having a good season, he's looking more mature this year. But like, in retrospect, we'll look back and be like, he wasn't ready, we washed him, he just wasn't ready, you know, and he'll crumble under the pressure and he'll be like in the car screaming, fuck, shit, like he always does, you know. So everybody just shut the fuck up, you know. And it's just gonna be what, like, you can just see it. It's like, I don't know, man. That being said, I admitted earlier I'm not the biggest Perez fan, and I do like Daniel Ricciardo. I've said multiple times in the past that Daniel Ricciardo's box office, and when he wins, it's exciting, it's fun, it's drama, it's fucking cinema. He's got all the fucking quotes out of the bag. When Perez wins, he's stumbling over the car, he's tripping, he can't even, like when he was at Monaco, he's like, you know, he's just a bit boring. So like, off of a completely biased standpoint, I'd love Perez to keep failing, and I'd love to see Daniel Ricciardo step into it. Don't know how likely that is, but you know. In terms of the race, it was a decent race. Races can only be so good when the battle for first is never up for grabs. So I think it's going to be hard to get many races this season that are 8 or above. I think I'd probably only give 1 8 so far, and I think it was maybe Australia. It was just a bunch of red flags. It was just fucking crazy down under. But I don't know if there's going to be many 8s this year, because I don't know, as crazy as it is, and there was some good battles going on, and like, it was fun throughout. Maybe some rain could have came through. Maybe like bunch them up. But even, here's the thing, even if you bunch them back up and like Verstappen's and everyone's together again, a bit of rain, someone crashed maybe. It's like Verstappen is never not gonna win unless there is some kind of mechanical failure, or like he has just some human error, like fucking sends it into the wall. Because no one's gonna catch him, and even if like even if they reset it and put everyone exactly right back, bunch them all back up again, he's just gonna pull away. He's just gonna pull away. I mean, I'm pretty sure that happened at some point in this race. Like within like within a lap even, he was like 2 seconds again ahead of Hamilton. It's just like, you know, the races can only be so good when that keeps happening. In terms of the race, I'm trying to remember how it even went. There's just not much to report. I mean, Hamilton was kind of holding second for a while. Alonso then took second, and he held on to second. And then Hamilton kept third. I mean, Russell kind of had an unforced error. Just sliding into the side. He managed to carry on, but they had to retire him. So he kind of went out there. He's kind of not having as strong a season as he did last season. It's hard to say if Hamilton's just doing better this season. He shaked off whatever the bad mood was or whatever. Or he's just kind of got in the right groove. I don't know what it is, but it seems like Hamilton maybe having a better season or Russell's having a worse season. But Hamilton's doing really well. Like at the beginning, I think he was always doing better in the races. But at the beginning, he was like 4-1 down, I think, to Russell at some point in qualifying. But now it's 4-4 again. So he's comfortably put himself back at the top on quali pace. And whenever I say stuff like quali pace, I'm like, damn, I'm the real deal. I sound like I know what I'm talking about. Abbreviating and it's not really abbreviating, but you know, shortening stuff. Quali pace, and his fucking race pace. He's fucking, you know, he's holding him off as well. So yeah, not great for Russell. I mean, then you kind of get like, I don't know, Sainz and Leclerc, they went up a bit. Norris and Piastri went down a bit. Like the car seems to be okay in certain temperatures and conditions and like over a lap, but like over a race it's just not that competitive yet. You kind of want it just to have a little bit more pace in it. They kind of just about have enough to have their foot in the door and get a couple points here and there, but I don't know, man. Like, it's not a car that can challenge for podium. It's not a car that he can take a second and a half out of Hamilton in the final lap to get a podium in wherever the fuck it was, you know. Where was that? I can see the track in my head, because I like racing that track as well on the game. That's like one of my favourite ones, because it's just so easy. I think that's why it feels like it's quite easy to do. Not sure. Hungary maybe? There's ain't got a car to that at the moment, which is a shame because Norris is fucking good, and that's what we're going to talk about next. Norris is decent, mate. Like, he went back at the start, but then he lunges it down the inside on his teammate. Lovely stuff. And then he kind of gets stuck in like a DRS train. It's like, oh, this is annoying. He's stuck behind I can't really remember. I think he was stuck by, I mean, he got past Magnussen pretty quick, but I think he was stuck behind Bottas. That was really British. He was stuck behind Bottas for quite a while until Bottas boxed or something like that. And but then towards the end of the lap, he kind of just found the pace and end of the race. He kind of just found the pace in the car. He kind of just said fuck it, and he was doing some sick overtakes, just like going in some places, sending it around the outside and the inside. If he got Ocon, like, here's the thing, it didn't really mean anything, but it was just kind of fun, like, because he got that, oh, what's up with that as well, that 5-second grid penalty. But if you got, I was even though he had that and I knew that, I was still rooting for him to get past Ocon there at the end. And it's like he was providing most of the excitement for me, just sending it into places where it didn't deserve to be, and just like still being fair about it though. Like on the Ocon one, it's like, yeah, ultimately he backed out. He had to back out, and he backs out of it, you know. He doesn't like send it into the side of Ocon and take them both out for like literally no reason. But it was good. It was good fun. The fucking I don't know which, is it Brundle? I don't know which, or Ted. I don't know which. They're all just voices to me, just British guys. I don't know which one it is who said this, like, was having a go, and the others were kind of just fucking gaslighting him, like, shut the fuck up, we don't talk about it, it's just normal. But he was like, oh, what's Lando, what's baby Lando? He's that guy who is, like, I can't, in my head I can do his impression amazingly, and it comes out, it doesn't sound like him. But he's like, what? They said baby little lovely cute cute little Lando is fucking unsportsmanlike behaviour. Would you believe it? Like, Lando, unsportsmanlike? What does it even mean? And then the like Crofty and everyone else are just like, if he's backing people up to double stack, then it's unsportsmanlike, Ted, or whatever his name is. And I was just like, I kind of back the guy whoever said what he was saying. Not because, Lando's a nice guy and he could never do anything unsportsmanlike. I wouldn't even dream of it. But because it's true. You can't label unsportsmanlike behaviour in the sport of F1 when the whole thing is unfucking sportsmanlike. Like, what does that even mean? And anything, that is such a wide net you're casting when you say unsportsmanlike behaviour. Like, it all is. So, like, be clearer, right? And just label it whatever it is. Like, if you're backing someone up, then give them a 5-second penalty for backing people up under a safety car. Unsportsmanlike behaviour. Like, if we're giving out awards for unsportsmanlike behaviour, everyone in the whole race should get one every single race, because like everyone's doing something that's unsportsmanlike at some point. And whether you should get a penalty for that, like, I don't know. I don't fucking get the sport, but like, apparently everyone drives so under the safety car anyway. I don't know how big the gap was between him and Piastri to know if the 2 seconds he was behind the delta even would have made a difference anyway, because that would be a good point to bring up. But yeah, I don't know. It's whatever. It didn't mean anything anyway. He wasn't going to get points. Actually, he might have got like a point. I can't remember how far up he was. But, oh yeah, there was also a crash as well. It was annoying. Like, De Vries was kind of doing something, but then he locks up and he goes out. And it's like, nah, De Vries, come on, I root for you, but you let me down every time. And then finally, Albon. I think you can't go without mentioning Albon, who once again, I mean, at this point, I don't know why we give out the title Tyre Whisperer to people, because apparently fucking everyone's a Tyre Whisperer. It's like, we need to start handing out titles for fucking tyre shouters, people who just don't get tyres, because it feels like it's like most of the pack can fucking whisper to their tyres. But apparently Albon's one as well. I remember like the first race he did in the Williams, right, in Australia. Was it Australia? Wherever it was, and he was like, he pitted like lap 2 and just kept those same tyres to the end and got a point in his first race or second race. I think it was his second race, yeah. And then once again does the same thing, this time in Canada. Stays on hards for like 50 laps or some shit, I can't remember. And gets 7th. I think he started 10th, so he gained 3 places, gets 7th, holds on. He had people pressuring him for a long time. And to me, it's like, Ocon, like, I don't know, man. Some people want to pretend like Ocon's really, really good. Like, he's so underrated, he deserves like a Mercedes seat or something. But then sometimes I see him in this kind of area, and it's like, you can't get past Albon. And it's like, the reason I'm criticising you for it is because Norris was pressuring you heavily towards the end. And I think if there was like 5 extra laps on the track, I think you had all this time to get past Albon. But I think if we had 5 extra laps, Norris would have came through, got past you on like the next lap or the lap after that, and then would have been fighting for Albon and got past Albon. So it just kind of makes me think, is Ocon like that good? But then again, being worse than Lando doesn't automatically mean you're bad. It just means you're worse than Lando, who's fucking sick, in my opinion. He's another person people have been saying about that Red Bull seat, which we'll see. I don't know anytime soon. He seems like he really wants to do it with McLaren, but at the same time, he wants success, and like, one of those things got to give at some point. And you just end up like Harry Kane, winning nothing, and just sort of trying to be that clubman who then, you know, gets scorned for it. But yeah, so that's like everything, right? Yeah, that's everything in the race. Albon did well, yeah. Did I give Albon enough credit? I mean, what was it to give you, Albon? Look, I'm happy for you. You did well. P7, well done, mate. Well done. I mean, Sargent, did he go? He had him as a mechanical thing, but he went out. And a lot of people have been saying they might get rid of Sargent halfway through the season. Very, very light rumours like that. Like, by the way, with fucking Mick Schumacher. With Schumacher, right? Why are we getting rid of someone like Sargent? Like, Schumacher does not deserve to just walk back in over Sargent. Like, at least give Sargent a fucking season. And it's like, has he been like amazing? No, but like, for me as a rookie, sure. Has he been well off the pace at Albon? Yeah. But like, as long as you're not like like spinning out all the time, like Latifi, Mazepin, honestly Schumacher all the time. Like, I don't know. Just give him the fucking season. It just feels a bit harsh. I don't really like the bad. I don't know, man. I just think it's a bit harsh on Logan. It's like, why bring people into the sport in the first place if you're not going to give them the season? Give it Sargent end of season. Yeah, so that's the race one down, and then to give out the soft, medium, hard awards. I think the hard who had like a fucking rock hard performance. I'll go give Lando Norris, honestly, and it's not even fucking biased. He was providing the entertainment. He had the best overtakes in the funnest places, and like who was the good one? Was it Magnussen or someone? I mean, he had really good ones where like he sent it down the beginning on the straight and they chased him up the straight through the chicane and then he had to like defend and stuff. He had a few good ones like that. I think you can't not give it to Lando. That's not even biased. That's just the way it is. Medium, he was just sort of mid today. I'm trying to think. Where did Stroll end up finishing? Sainz, Leclerc, no, neither of them. Maybe like Ocon or Gasly. It's a tricky one. Because obviously everything is in context of like what team you're at. Everything is you know the word, like I can't think of the word, but you know what I'm trying to say. Like it's all depending on the team you're in. No one is shouting mid to me. No one is shouting that was kind of... It's tricky, man. It's tricky. Maybe like Magnussen. I don't know. No one's screaming mid to me this week. I'm just going to give it to... Magnussen. I think Hulkenberg's steadily been the better driver since he's been in this Haas car. Compared to Magnussen, been having better qualities, and I don't know, Magnussen, most time I see Magnussen on the track is him being overtaken by other midfield cars, so I'm just going to say midwards Magnussen this week. And he was soft and flaccid. I don't think anyone was diabolical today, honestly. I mean, I'm going to have to give it to Russell. I don't think anyone was outright awful, and it was a little mistake there, but you got out-qualified by your teammate again. That's like the third time in a row now. And your teammate is Lewis Hamilton, fair. But, I don't know. Unforced error. I'll give it Russell. I'll give it Georgie Boy. Who I've actually... Not only am I, like, back around on Russell now to like him again, I'm, like, putting stocks in. Like, I really like Russell, man. Like, he's one of those people, not funny, but very funny. Like, just, like, unintentionally very, very funny. And I still don't want him to ever do better than Hamilton, but I'm starting to put some stocks in Russell again. I'm a fan of Russell. But yeah, so we'll go hard Norris, medium. It's the way I do the awards, like Albon did a great performance, but it's not one that gets you excited. So you can only get the hard award if it's an exciting performance, you know. So yeah, hard Norris, medium Magnussen, soft Russell. Those are the awards as for this weekend. I think the next one is Austria. I only remember that because of Alonso and Hamilton's little interview there, but 2 weeks' time, Austria. I look forward to it. And then straight away, week after that, we got Silverstone or Silverstone, depending on what kind of individual you are. I'm going to stick with Silverstone. So, should I? Silverstone. I don't know. Anyway, this was one, whatever, I don't know how many episodes we've done of this. This was talking about Canadian Grand Prix. This is a hands-on podcast because we've got the hands-on. Because we're going to the end. I'll see you guys in the next episode coming up very soon. Thank you and goodbye.